Hello student. In the last session we were talking about the different types of network, that wireless networks, CDMA, GSM, SIM, GPRS, right? Now in this session let us talk about the just a briefly let us know about the different generations of network. Now we are at present in the fourth generation and going to the fifth generation, right? Where did we start? We started with the first generation, in the same way as we know about the generation of computers, first generation, second, third, fourth. In the same way we have it in the networks also. So the first generation, that is your 1G. So what is this? First generation of computers refers to the analog phones, as they were introduced for the mobile technology, and the cell phones began with 1G and signifies the first generation wireless analog technology standards that started in the 1980s. And later the first generation was replaced by the second generation of computers, so that we call it as the 2G. So 2G again is the second generation wireless digital technology. So these replaced the first generation, which had started in the 1980s. They first commercially began using the GSM for mobile communication. You already know what you mean by GSM. GSM means Global System for Mobile Communications. So that it follows the GSM standard. And then later came the third generation of computers, that is your 3G. So again it is the mobile, it follows the mobile phone standards and technology, and it came after the 2G. And this again follows the ITU. It is a ITU's project, that is International Mobile ITU, that is International Mobile Telecommunications. Don't bother too much about this, as it's not so important. Just we are going through how many generations you have. And then 3G technologies, whatever you have, this helped you in the faster data transmission speeds and greater network capacity and more advanced network services. So the advantages of this was your faster data transmission, and greater network capacity and more advanced network services. So these are the advantages of 3G over your 2G. So next, after your 3G came the fourth generation, that is your 4G network. So this again increases the capacity of the speed, that is a data transmission speed, whatever you had in the third generation. This increased that data transmission speed, and network capacity and network services went on improving in the fourth generation of computers. And again they are planning for it's already started the fifth generation, that is your 5G. The aim is for a real wireless world that is free from the obstacles. Whatever you had, the difficulties in the earlier generation, they want to come out of that difficulties. But again this requires an integration of all the networks. And also they are offering the services in product engineering, documentation, all those things. Whatever the speed that you had never experienced, the call volume, data transmission, everything becomes faster. And one more term that you have to know, and I think we have already talked, I don't remember, that is your GSM Edge. That is, it's a cellular technology upgrade. Now whatever you have your GSM or GPRS networks, right, it is an upgrade, improvement over this network. So this is developed to meet the bandwidths of your 3G whatever we have now. So Edge means enhanced data rates for global evolution. That is what you mean by a edge. It is a high speed data standard for data transmission. This is about the generation of computers. Now let us talk about the applications of network. That is your network application. What is the use? Where all can you use this network application? So whatever the peripherals you have in a computer, we already know what you mean by peripherals. That is all the input and the output devices that we use along with the computer are known as your peripheral devices. So the computer system and the peripherals all are connected and this forms a network. So now you are extending this network through online, that is internet. So what are the applications of internet? The advantages or applications of internet is you can share, that is your resource sharing. Resource sharing, when you are talking about resource sharing, we are saying that is your printers. If you want the printers, storage devices, all these can be shared. That is what we mean by a resource sharing. And exchange of information, that is you are sending exchange of information. You are sending the mail, again that is nothing but sending the information, so that is mails. Or we all talked about FTP, that is file transfer protocol, that is an exchange of information. And access to remote database. So when we are saying access to remote database, means you are sitting in one place and you can access the computer in another place, in a different area. That is what you mean by your remote access. And communication, efficient communication between users. And also you have your SMS. You know what do you mean by SMS? Full form of SMS, right? Short message service. Chatting, video conferencing, all those things are possible in your network, using a network. Okay, so that is about your network applications. Now we were talking about wireless network earlier, right? That is which doesn't use a wires. So where you can connect two or more computers using standard rules, but without any cables, wires that we use. And we have one more term in this, that is your, I think you might have heard of this, Wi-Fi, right? What is this Wi-Fi? It is also a local area wireless technology that allows you to exchange the data, that is a system to exchange the data or connect to an internet using 2.4 gigahertz ultra high frequency and 5 gigahertz super high frequency radio waves. And again this connects your wireless local area networks. Most of the modern the WLANs, that is WLAN we had talked about earlier, right? That is your wireless local area networks, follows or based on this Wi-Fi. But standard is the same. We normally in general English, it's a, we have also a synonym. It's also can be called by the different name as WLAN. Only the Wi-Fi products that have an interoperability, that is which can operate with each other, will be given the trademark of Wi-Fi. We are using many devices can be connected through network. And how are you going to connect this to the internet? Through a wireless network access point. You need a access point. Such an access point, that is also known as your hotspot, will have a range of about 20 meters inside, and outside the range may be a bit more. So, but hotspot coverage means it is an area, it covers an area, it may be as small as a single room with walls that even blocks the radio waves, or it may be many square kilometers using multiple overlapping points. So, hotspot is a site that offers internet access over wireless local area network. But this is done through a router connected to your link, that is to your ISP, that is your internet service provider. So this hotspot uses the technology of Wi-Fi, and we can usually can have a hotspot in schools, colleges, universities, outside public establishments, coffee shops, all the shops, hostels, restaurants, hotels, all these you have. So this is your Wi-Fi. And when you're talking about network security, one more thing that we have to keep in mind is the how secure is that when you're using passing the data through wires, cables from one place to another place, how secure is your data. So there you learn, or you come to know about the, or we'll talk about the network security concepts. Network security concepts. What is this network security concept? That is, you are going to secure the hardware and the software of a computer network. Basic concept is to secure the computer systems, that is including the data, applications from it may be from your enemies or natural calamities like your earthquakes or the shortage of power cuts, or maybe it may be internal threat or external threat. So when we are talking about network security, means it will be like authenticating, that is, you are going to give the data only to the person who has to get the data. You are going to how do you authenticate? We can use usernames, we give passwords. Only if you have a username and a password you can enter the system, right? So this password also can be one factor authentication, two factor authentication. That is, when two factor authentication means sometimes the user has, that is a you can give a number, phone number, as an extra resource, or a 3 point or 3 factor authentication, like you have a username, password, along with that you will be giving the phone numbers or any other mail IDs, or along with that you will be having your fingerprint biometrics, that is your fingerprint or retinal scan, whatever it is. If you do all those things, that is a 3 factor. Three types of verification will be done, or 3 steps of verification will be done. That is what you mean by your 1 factor, 2 factor, and 3 factor authentication. Once you all do all those things, again you will be having your antivirus. That antivirus and all are different ones, right? So you have to have antivirus software to protect the system. So just let us know about what are the types of attacks that a computer can have, and how you can protect this system. That we shall do in the next session. Thank you.